Hello, and welcome to the National Right to Work Foundation's news update. With free legal assistance from National Right to Work Foundation staff attorneys, 2 food service workers have won a federal settlement refunding 14 Fort Leonard Wood food service workers money illegally seized from their paychecks. In November 2014, Kimsha Rosensteel, an 11-year employee with food services provider EDP Enterprises, Inc., and coworker Stephanie Fenton filed unfair labor practice charges with the National Labor Relations Board against SEIU's National Association of Government Employees Union. Rosensteel later filed an additional charge against the company. Rosensteel, a former NAGE local union president, and Fenton filed the federal charges after NAGE union officials stonewalled several workers' requests to refrain from formal, dues-paying union membership and refused to follow federal disclosure requirements designed to better inform workers of their rights. In addition to the federal settlement with the union, company management had recently entered into a settlement with Rosensteel after the NLRB initiated a prosecution in November 2014 against the company and the union based on her charge. In other news, an Arizona Fry's food and drugstore pharmacy technician and Arizona State University biology student Travis Prahl filed a federal charge against the United Food and Commercial Worker Local 99 union for stonewalling his attempts to exercise his rights to refrain from union membership and dues payments under Arizona's popular right-to-work law. Prahl began working for Fry's in December 2013, and in January of 2015, Prahl, seeking to resign his union membership and revoke his union dues deduction form, made several calls to the union hierarchy to find the exact dates during which he could resign his union membership. However, he never received a response. Since then, union officials have denied Prahl's requests to revoke his dues deduction authorization revocation because they did not fall in the union's 15-day window period. However, UFCW union officials have still refused to inform Prahl what the 15-day window period is. Under Arizona's right-to-work law, no worker can be required to join or pay fees to a union as a condition of employment. And finally, an Eastern Michigan Paramount Industries electrical worker named Ryan Green filed a federal charge against a local International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers union for using intimidation and coercion to stop workers from exercising their rights under Michigan's right-to-work law. IBEW Local 58 union officials issued a new policy on October 1, 2014, requiring workers to show up in person and provide photo identification to exercise their rights under Michigan's right-to-work law. According to the charge, Mr. Green, who resigned his IBEW union membership and revoked his dues deduction authorization, discovered the new policy through an arbitration the union brought against Paramount to force Green to continue to be a dues-paying member. Green's charge challenging the union boss's predatory policy comes on the heels of a federal settlement won by CEVA Logistics U.S. Incorporated truck driver Kathleen Solkowski. Ms. Solkowski filed a similar charge with the aid of National Right to Work Foundation attorneys in 2014 after United Auto Workers local union officials denied her request to resign her membership and dues payments unless she shows up in person and provides photo identification to exercise her right to refrain from union membership. Earlier this year, the NLRB initiated a prosecution of the UAW local, spurring the settlement. Foundation staff attorneys continued to assist several workers in cases across Michigan challenging union official schemes stonewalling workers' attempts to exercise their rights under the state's right-to-work law. Thank you for tuning in, and see you next week.
Thank you.